We're going to go back. We're going to make one for the moon. That's what we're going to do. See if we can jack this thing up and get it to the moon. I'm going to take this. Let's just throw it away for now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to jack this up. 13.9. So get to the moon. It's 860 plus 280. There we go. 1140. Jeepers. If this thing can get to the moon just like this, if I can get it into orbit, let's get back this. Put this fuel back in. This might be really quick. Okay, there's not enough fuel in this stage. I might have to step up my booster a little bit. Yeah, I do. Okay, so we're going to lose this. Go to my next level of booster. This is, I save my boosters here. Arrange them by mass, and then they're by... So this is the exact same booster, but... Oh, I threw away the... Here. Time out for a second. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. There we go. I threw away the fairing. I shouldn't have done that. So this is actually the same booster, but the pair of just hammer SRBs there on the side, and that should be enough. That should this should get me into an orbit about the moon. I think this should handle nicely. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to this. Let's get down. Let's put on a smart part, even though... Oh no, we won't do that. No. Let's get rid of our checklist. Now why... Yeah. Why did that fail, the resource scanner? Just want to do a very quick experiment, or not experiment, just a look-see. Resource survey, data packet size, data rate. Oh, the data rate is really high. That could be my problem. That could be my problem. Alright. That might be why the other one failed. Well, I'm not interested in resources around Kerbin anyway. See, the data transfer rate is 4.63, though the communitrons, that might be what my issue was. Let's take this off. Let's see if we can up the transmission rate of this. So I didn't pay any attention to the transmission rate for that. That might have been what the problem was. So if I go into, what is the transmission? This is 25 kilobits per second. Right there. Like that. So I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I'm also not thinking about, this still says perpetual duration. What's the electricity consumption on this? This is how I get myself into trouble, because I'm in a rush and I don't do things. It's not much. Okay. That might have been the problem with that. And I'm also going to up the storage capacity on my little hard drive. Okay, now that's still enough to easily get to the moon. It is. Okay. I think that might have been the problem, was a transmission issue. Oh, it might have been above 200 meters. Oh, Natalia, thank you. Thank you, Natalia. Natalia is pointing out. Let me do one thing at a time here, because I'm really bad at doing multiple things at a time. So let's toggle this antenna with the zero action group. But Natalia is pointing out in the chat that the resource scanner, where were you, needs to be under No, it needs to be, it says ScanSat resource scanner, resource survey, max altitude 200 kilometers. I think I was looking at this one. where it says between 15, but here it does say max altitude 200 kilometers, and it might have been just a smidge over 200 kilometers. I think you might be correct. That might be the issue. But what we'll do is we'll send this fella out towards the moon. I'm noticing that the staging is an absolute disaster. What else is new there? That... Oh no, that makes sense. That's the... Yep. That's the radio boosters on the bottom. That's the fairing. That. Okay, there we go. This should do it. Let's check our launch TWR and just launch this. Oh, it's 1.33 already. Okay, we're just gonna do it. This is not, this is a Munar map sat now. Launch. I'm not even gonna test it. Not even gonna test it. Yes, I'm going. I'm going. We're going. Launch clamps in the staging. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Launch clamps in the staging were messed up. Okay, now that. Yep, that would have been entertaining. Okay, this is ready to go. So we are going into 0 inclination this time because this fella's heading to the moon. Just an 80-kilometer orbit and go. And off. And I do like having this launch script. That's why I want to have it for the space plane, because it just gives me this opportunity. I don't have to concentrate on what I'm doing. I can engage and talk with you folks. This is pitching the right way. Yes, it is. It's just something to do with that camera angle. Fly Retrogrammer is saying, yeah. Even though you might think everything will work, I would still recommend you still check that if everything worked. But I just... like the staging there that just didn't happen. But I was quick on the draw that time. Yeah, I could have the script check for the loss of thrust and then stage, but it already is looking for a loss of thrust because there is an automatic abort system built into the script that I put in there, and I couldn't figure out a way to get it to detect to when it loses thrust, whether that was supposed to happen because of a staging event or whether it was an engine failure. So I kept the abort portion of it, but lost the staging portion of it, but then I keep forgetting to put smart parts on it. Now, well, it's going anyway. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the one thing with Kerbalism. It gives me lots more opportunities to make mistakes, and this would not be entertaining enough if I didn't make more enough mistakes and have to go around fixing it. I am seriously considering firing a Kerbal up to that satellite and sticking on an antenna. Because even if we do get the orbit to be right and get the scanner to work, I really, really have a feeling that I really do have a feeling that it's not going to work properly anyway, because I think it's going to generate data way too quickly. And retrofitting it with a Kerbal is something to think about. There is no Kerbal Space Program without fail. Kerbal Space Program teaches you how to fail with grace. Actually, what it really does teach you is how to learn from failure. I mean, the whole game is about making mistakes and then learning from those mistakes. But it makes the watching a fail, I know sometimes, oh, that was pretty that time. I know sometimes can be frustrating, but honestly, sometimes it's really entertaining. I've never had a game where I fail as much as I do and actually laugh when those fails happen. Okay, where are we at here? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Apple Wapsis is almost at 80 kilometers here. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is some crazy shaking. Did you see that? A little bit of physics fun happening there. Wow. Okay, knock that stuff off. Okay, here we go. Deploying junks. All right. With our much better antenna, and we got a little bit of time until we do this insertion. There's enough fuel in this stage to get it inserted. That's cool. So we'll use part of this stage to go to the moon too. There we go. Failing with style. Yeah. That's what KSP is all about. So we'll send this thing off to the moon, and then we'll check on that other satellite that we put in. Now the one thing with this one is this beep experiment only works in low space, but I saw the minimum requirement for the scanner is 50 kilometers. Low space for the moon is like 63 kilometers, so I'm going to be aiming for something like maybe a 55 kilometer orbit. Okay, there's that. 80 by 80. Nicely done script. Okay, so this is happy. It's even got the solar panels nicely exposed. That is great. Okay, let's turn stuff off. And let's get this to the moon. What does beep stand for? I did look what beep was standing for in the VAB, but I have forgotten. I read it out at the beginning. I don't think it tells you here, does it? No, it doesn't tell you what beep stands for. I read it at the beginning of this. It tells you in the VAB, but I have forgotten. Okay. Oh, wait, that's Minmus. Focus view on the moon. So we're going to go for a polar orbit. So that means at this point, the goal is going to be to smack the moon right in the face. Smack them in the face like that. And then we'll use an orbital correction to... well, that's about as far as that. I think that looked pretty good right about there. That looks good to me. And then we'll use an orbital correction to actually come... I guess we'll be coming north of the moon, go into our polar orbit. So that burn's coming up in just 25 minutes. Now, we're going to turn this off. There is a staging event partway through this burn, and my KOS script does not handle staging events very well, so I am going to do this manually. So let's get to this maneuver. And by it doesn't handle the staging events very well, it doesn't start the burn at the right time because it calculates... KSP calculates the burn time right based upon the different fuel consumption rates of the two stages. But my script doesn't. I've yet... I found someone puzzled it out on my Discord, and I've yet to fix it. But the staging was just... I found the staging, the way it worked, was just confusing as heck. Okay. Alright, so have ourselves a 45-second burn. I think I'll start a little early because I think I got a huge TW. I have a huge... Here, let's nerf this. There we go. That's much more sane. Okay. And now we're starting to burn a little bit earlier. 3 and go. Just it was like well over 4 the thrust to weight ratio on this stage now that it's almost empty. I didn't want to do that. And stage. Oh, it's a double stage for some reason. That's why the smart part was failing. I love the reflection. See how there's the light from the exhaust is reflected in that part? It looks just awesome. Makes you realize how many little things KSP could do to make the game just look a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Okay. Biome exclusive experiment package. Thank you for that interpretation of the beep. Okay, but we are closing in here. Okay, slow that down. And cut. All right, nice, nice, nice. Okay, and what we need is a bit of a correction partway along here. I can get a maneuver down. And we're going to go for 50 let me think. Probably about 58 kilometers. Because that scanner needs to be in a at least 50 kilometer, but more than 60, what is it, 62 or something like that, is now going to be high space, and then the beep experiment doesn't work. So I have to be a little bit particular about my orbit. Just going to move this around to get the oh, it's pretty much right in a good spot anyway. I've done enough of these to kind of know where the good spot. So I'm going to go for 50. There we go. 56.86. That's fine. And oh, I can try and see if I can make this a little more looking like it's like really perpendicular here. We're good with that. That looks good to me. Okay, so that burn's coming out in 1 hour and 29 minutes. Let's check to make sure this guy's got some nice solar exposure. It does. It's not running any experiments yet, so it doesn't need all of those anyway. Let's jump over. No, let's... Sorry, put an alarm for the maneuver. Give me a couple minutes warning. And let's jump over to the other mapping satellite, right here, and see if we can fix that orbit. Okay, so this needs to be, yeah, it's over 200 kilometers all the way around. So that is why that's not working. All right, so let's see what happens if I put this on a little bit of retrogradeness. This isn't going to be much of a change. I'm going to put the thrust limiter way down. We'll get our periapsis down below. Let's go with like 195. That's good enough. Re-expose those solar panels. Oh, I'm still stuck on retrograde here. Whee. Oh my gosh, I don't know what there we go. That's what I'm aiming for. Okay, and, well, sort of. Just trying to get good exposure on these solar panels. I don't want to, yeah, these are always taking radiation. I've learned to ignore that. That's life is taking radiation damage. Okay, let's get to periapsis. It is 19 minutes away. I'm going to up the thrust again a little bit because I noticed it was spectacularly low when I did that. Then we'll see if we can run this scanner. So, yeah. Get close to periapsis. We'll bring down our apoapsis below 200. I still think this thing's not going to work right. Ooh, that was... Oh, be careful. How many ignitions do you got here? Oh, still a lot of ignitions, and this thing doesn't have to go anywhere after this, so... That's good. Okay. So now we are below 200 all the way around. Let's do some stuff for our solar panels here. like so, and like so. Okay, that should work well. And if we go to here, oh, now our resource scanner is working. It is now running. That is good. But my guess is if I take a look at my data, it's at 93% capacity. My guess is that that hard drive will fill up. It's got a 1.45 megabyte hard drive on it. And what's going to happen is that's going to fill up over time. Because yes, it is not transmitting the data as quickly as it's collecting it. And then at that point, stuff's going to shut down. So we do need to get a better antenna on here. Well, let's get back to our Moon one. We'll see if that one works any better. See, this is all about learning from the mistakes. But at least it's kind of working now. Go to there. Yeah, set up the autos for stopping the... That's a good plan. You can do that from here. Here, I'll show people that too. If I go back to my Kerbin Mapper, don't go to it though. But there is a... Is it under Configure? That's right. No, Auto. If... I gotta remember how this all works. Yes, if the hard drive... Let's keep going here. If the drive is below 10%, what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the resource scanner. The beep should be fine because it should be able to transmit that quick enough. And then when the drive is above 85%, we're going to turn on the resource scanner. See? So you can automate this a little bit. That should help. Okay. Thank you, Dan, for pointing that out to me. But right now, we're going to go back to the Munar one and see if it works. It's all a little bit better. So where are we? Oh, yes, we got to get out to here. So let's get out and do that orbital correction. Some info here. I do like the way the science works with Kerbalism, but boy, it does take a lot to think about. That's good. Okay, and no, it's not quite. Still don't have the probe body that can just snap to. There. Okay, and we'll take a look at the moon. Oh, let's turn off all of this distraction. Focus our view here, and again, we are shooting for that polar orbit. We can basically start whenever we want. We don't have to wait. And we can take our time with this one too. It's not time urgent. So I'm going to wait for that periapsis to appear there. See if I can click on it without actually stopping the engine. Come here, come here, come here. There we go. And I don't know, I said like 58 or something like that. That's good. And it looks perpendicular-ish. It does. Okay. F5 that one. And let's get ourselves to that SOI. So we should be able to... Whoa, that went fast. Oh, it automatically does the time warpy thing. Or the... Makes a stock alarm. Oh, it put an alarm in Kerbal Alarm Clock too. You see that? These two are working together. It did the same thing in both. That's interesting. Except this one... Oh, there we go. Yeah, delete that alarm. Okay. And here's where I can show off my KOS script. It's coming back to me. Some more of my things I wrote. is I do have a program to create the circularization burn. Run circ at periapsis, I believe, is what I need to type in. Look at that! Wonderful. So there we go. It is, yeah, 59-ish kilometers all the way around. Okay. And I had put this thrust limiter back. Yeah, 14 seconds. Oh, I should be paying attention to my solar panels. They seem to be okay, but really, that was not cool to where I had it. There. Okay, let's get down there. Do this burn. Let's turn this off and turn that on and take away alarm clock. Don't need that no more. Let's just go down here. I'm being asked, what GPU do I have? I've honestly forgot. I'm really bad at that kind of stuff, like just remembering all that stuff. Here, I'm gonna run my maneuver execution script, and then I'll think about what my GPU is. I do have a what's the sticker on it? I'm looking at my box. Ryzen 7. It got a sticker on the box that says Ryzen 7. How's that? I'm terrible. I'm bad. It's funny that I'm a math person, but I really just do not have. I just really do not have a good head for numbers. I forget my phone number. I forget postal codes. I forget my license plates. Like I just suck. I like math with a minimal amount of numbers in them. Okay, where are we doing here? Okay, we got our capture. And it's 59 on the periapsis. And should be about 59. Yeah, nice job. Nice job, little script. Okay, and then we'll get rid of that. And we'll also orient this once again for solar panel purposes. And we'll turn things on. And hopefully see how this works. If it works at all better. Now I want to... yeah, go that way. Get some good solar panel. The problem with the solar panels the way they are is eventually this thing will maneuver itself into a position where the one solar panel will occlude the other one. But such is life. Okay, let's get over to here to auto, and we're going to turn on the beep experiment. That is much less of a problem. And we're going to turn on the resource. Oh wait, I'm in the silly person. Oh, I'm still on. That's because I'm still trying to program it. I got to go back to devices. There we go. Running that and running the resource scanner. And I'm hoping this thing I also put on a bigger hard drive too. So we should have, where's our data thing here? We have a much bigger hard drive. And if I do a little bit of time warping, the hard drive is staying at 100%. Right? So that's because I got the better antenna on it. So that better antenna is really doing a good job of transmitting it as quickly as it's collecting it. Now, one of the issues I do have, and this might be a thing for a future too, is if I put on my relays around the moon are kind of a mess. Right now it has a direct connection to Kerbin and will for a little while because of the orbit that we're in. That's nice. I'm not going to end up in the moon shadow for a bit. But at some point this will end up in the moon's communication shadow. And then it's going to have to use a relay antenna. And I know I got the crappiest relays on these relays antennas. And I might run into a bit of a problem with relay strength because of the crappy antennas on here. And what I might want to do in order to really start collecting the science is upgrade these, but that's going to have to be for the future. For now, this thing is fine. So I'm going to go back to the Space Center. back to the Space Center. And I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking it might be fun to see if I can get a Kerbal to go up and fix that other mapping satellite so it doesn't run into its data problems.